Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Welcome to day 10 of Wax Front. 10 days in, I can't get over it. It's so gone so quickly, this one. This one patient in this video today, you can see from the outer part of the ear canal, we've got lots of really dry bits of skin here, quite a narrow little entrance to the ear canal as well. So we're just trying to get some of this drier material here from the outside edge. Now, this particular patient suffers a lot with dry ear canals. Now, if you watched yesterday's video, you will have seen some really tough old skin debris. If you haven't watched it, stay to the end of the video. You'll see it pop up on the right hand side for you to have a look at as well. But with this particular patient, it's a similar kind of story here. Very tough, but more the dry skin leaves more little tiny flakes that all bind together, and that's what's happening in this particular ear canal. You can see those little flakes to the left hand side there, are just to the left hand side of the wax, lots of little white bits on the canal wall. That's what binds together with a bit of wax, and you get some bigger bits of skin in there as well, which is forming this plug here. So I'm just trying to maneuver this out, but you can see it is tough as anything. It doesn't want to come away very easily. So we're going to go in with the Jobson horn here. And what you'll see me do is I'm very slowly creeping over the top of this wax, drawing this front section away here. I can't get far enough back to take the whole plug in one go. So let's get rid of this front section. There we are. You'll see it almost, as it comes away, it almost kind of unravels and crumbles. It's a real funny texture, this one. So we've got that out now. You'll see a section here at the bottom. Now, if I go try to put the endoscope straight in there, I'm just going to crash into that piece. So let's try and get rid of that first. You can see it doesn't want to come away. The sort of saving grace of these kind of this particular consistency of wax is it does tend to hold on to the next piece along. So as you draw a piece out, it does tend to kind of draw the next section down the canal, which does make it a little bit easier for us. But you do have to watch these pieces here at the bottom that sit on the base of the canal. They tend to be a little bit tougher. So what you can do with those is hold on to them and draw them down. You can see what I mean as that tail attached there is actually drawing the next section forwards. But these tougher pieces on the bottom of the canal here, sometimes you can use those to your advantage, and you can lift and they hold together really tightly, and you'll draw the next lot down. Unfortunately for us in this case, as you can see, it's a little bit wetter back here. So I think what's probably happened here is where the patient was using some olive oil to soften this up, where the front end of the wax wasn't completely blocking the ear canal, a lot of that oil went over the top and sat behind, and it's actually softened this section. But as we get a grip here, we'll start to see that the whole thing is now just starting to turn a little bit. There we go. So if we can get this turned enough onto one side, we'll probably get this through that canal. Don't forget, we can't take a piece of wax like this through a canal, this entrance, this shape. So what I'm doing here is trying to turn this piece so it becomes thinner, so we get through that little gap, which is what you can see here. Still got pretty stuck though. So we're just gonna get on the outside edge, not gonna move. Let's go in with the Jobson horn here, help it along its way. Just press that section down and draw it forwards. There we go. You can see how that next piece there, it was just drawing forwards with it. So let's get behind that, bring that section forwards. There, now you can see that plug is really starting to come out of this canal now. Unfortunately, we can't get the view further in, so you don't want to push that Jobson horn further in. You just want to work on this section on the outside edge. It might unravel and bring the next section with it. It looks to me as if it just clipped the end off that though. There we go. Let's have a look behind that. Oh, there you go. You can see it brought that next section down again. You can really see those little white flakes on the canal wall entrance there, or the wall of the ear canal entrance is better. So we're taking this section away. There we are. Look at the different colors in there as well. You've got this very light material, this kind of conker brown color material, this much darker, almost ebony. So lots and lots of different colors in there, different ages of wax and different mixtures in there as well. Some have more skin, that's the lighter stuff. Some are just purely wax that have been in there a little while. That's the much darker sections there. So just tidying up some of these looser bits around the outside edge. We can see the eardrum there just past the suction tube. So we know we've got the canal nice and clear. Let's try and take, you can see how tough some of this stuff is. I'm really having to kind of scrape along the outside edge. Now, we talk about, not scraping the canal further in, but on this outside edge, it's surrounded by cartilage. There's a lot of give in there. So it means you can put a bit more pressure on it without causing any discomfort. a little bit of loose wet wax here at the base of the canal, so we'll take some of this away. There we go. You can see how when I put the suction tube in, I don't put it diagonally downwards. I leave it quite flat against the canal wall and draw it backwards. That way you don't get any digging sensations in there. Eardrum looking nice and healthy. You can see a couple of splodges on there where it was the wax had gone in quite a way. So this is the patient's other ear canal here, and we'll start with a little bit of suction. You never know, it might come away in one big piece. Of course I know, because I've done it, so I know what happens. But you can see it is not as hard as the other side. Now we talk about the consistency of the inside of a fig roll or a fig Newton if you're in the US. It's that kind of consistency, very kind of granular, but still soft. So it's that kind of sort of sensation. We have this, I'm slowly ruining everybody's food stuff. Treacle tart we have here in the UK. And it's, if everyone's ever eaten that, it's that kind of consistency that you get in the ear canal here. So just trying to get this out. The difficulty with this softer, more granular kind of wax you're getting here is it blocks the suction really, really easily. So you'll be going along really nicely and suddenly it'll just suck a little bit into the end. And then the more that's going in there, the less suction you're getting all the time. So we're gonna have to keep flushing this through. But I'm just seeing if I can, while I've still got a bit of suction in there, whether I can just loosen this from around the outside edges. But no, we'll have to flush that suction through. Okay, back in now, going in with the Jobson horn here, over the top. Not ideal. You can see how soft that is now. With this, the Jobson horn just literally plowed through the center of that. So you're going to get this really kind of thin gully, a little sort of thin channel groove put down through the wax there, which is going to spread that softer wax to the sides. So let's get this one here as well. You know, for some of the softer waxes, you've got things like Sarah spoons and stuff like that you can use. The problem here is that when a Sarah spoon works really, really well is when you've got a gap at the top or you've got enough of an angle to be able to work it almost like a melon baller, so you kind of go through the wax and it takes a big chunk out. The difficulty with this one is if you used a Sarah spoon on this, it's so wide at the top that it just would have pushed that top section much, much further in. And if that's not already stuck to the eardrum, you're going to press it onto the eardrum and make it even worse. So you can see we're getting some good movement now. We've got a bit of dry skin in here, which is what I'm using to try and loosen this wax off the base of the canal. That whiter material you can see me working on there, that's the dry skin. So let's keep moving this from one side to the other here. You can see it's just really sticky. Not an easy one to do this. Fair play, the gentleman whose ears these are were absolutely, I was an absolute trooper. Such a good patient to work through. You know, a lot of what we do on here, you know, a lot of the credit has to go to the patients as well. They're the ones actually sitting through this procedure. Although it's not painful as such, you know, sometimes it can feel a little bit uncomfortable, but most of the time it's just quite noisy. But fair play, our patients are always really good. So we're just loosening this off the canal wall. It really doesn't want to come. You can see we've got this soft wax at the top, this tough old skin underneath. So you've got this very diverse amount of textures in here. Look at that coming away. There we go. That was a nice bit of skin that just came off the ear canal wall there. Let's try the other side. Let's see if we can get this loosened on this one as well. You can see that layer of skin just flicking up to meet the suction all the time. I can't get it well. We're going to have to put some olive oil in here. Ah, there we go. So we pop some olive oil in now. This is really going to help. Look how much quicker this is to take away with a little bit of olive oil in there. There we go. It's really coming away from the canal wall. This particular sticky type of wax, look at it. It's all really starting to move now because the oil is forming like a sort of a lubricating layer underneath this wax. There we go. So as soon as you grip it, and you know, we haven't put this in for sort of 20 minutes. We've literally sprayed this in, like 3 or 4 sprays in here with our olive oil, and then gone straight back in with the suction. The only downside is, as you can see here, you get a lot of misting then to the camera, to the endoscope, which is why we use it sparingly, unless we've got a really, really difficult or hard and impacted wax. You don't use it too often then, because you get this trade-off between how it helps as far as sort of getting the wax out compared to some of the loss of view you get as well. This is really annoying. I was going to say, it's a really annoying bit of wax that needs to go on the side there. So you can see I've cleaned this off now, cleaned some of the olive oil back off it again. So our view's improved again now. I'm just aiming at this skin layer at the bottom here. I'm trying to get rid of this because at the moment, I need to kind of undercut this wax. I need to chip away at the bottom of it to be able to draw this forwards. My idea is going to roll, ideally. The difficulty is that little bit of skin keeps flicking up to meet the suction. So I've got a little bit of undercutting done there. Let's see if we can pull away from the sides. No, not going to budge yet. It is still quite at home in here at the moment. Let's try again. It's not there yet. I'm really hoping that there's a slightly harder kind of nugget of wax in here that we can exploit and bring this whole section down. But at the moment, that's all we're doing is sucking this really soft. Ooh, there's a little bit of movement there. It's getting there. You can see that just start to come away. There we go. That's where we want to see some bigger chunks coming away. Oh, it just dropped a little bit further in. So we've got this front section. Oh no, there it is. It's come out of behind it. We've got this kind of long, hard tail of wax. But look how much of that took away. So we can actually start to see some of the eardrum now, which is fantastic. So let's get this away. Now this is where it becomes awkward because you've got this really soft wax stuck in the anterior recess, which is this kind of gully just behind, just in front of the eardrum. And it's all pressed in there. So with hard wax, you can get a grip on one bit and take the whole thing out in one go. When you've got soft and sticky stuff like this, it's a lot of gentle moving because you want to keep it together enough to draw the next section out. The worst thing you can do is go in there gung-ho and strip all that top section away, and then you've got all this wax pressed down into the recess, which you can't quite get a grip on. Then we did an anterior recess removal in Waxfint as well. Go back and check that one out if you haven't. I've lost track of the days. I don't even know what day that one was. But have a look back for an anterior recess removal and you'll see what I mean about the wax being stuck down there and the kind of problems that can cause. So you can see me slowly working this along. It's coming away quite well. Let's see if we can just get a grip on this left. Oh, just, you can see I just touched the ear canal wall there. That patient just flinch a little bit at that point. You try your best not to, but when you're working in such a narrow space, it's difficult. So I've gone down to the fine end here. We're working in the same spot we were just a second ago. So I've got the fine end there. Let's see if we can lift this out. The difficulty with the fine end, we talked about the suction tube blocking really easily. Fine end's obviously a much smaller diameter, so that blocks really quickly too. Oh, it's getting a bit of move. There we go. So we're just lifting this out. As we lift this out, keep a bit of gentle pressure on there. Keep that forward momentum going, and hopefully it's going to draw this out, which is exactly what it's done. So out that comes on its way. Is it all going to come out in one go? Yes, it did. There we go. Let's have a look at that again. There we are. So we've managed to clear that recess. Eardrum looking a heck of a lot better in there. I think there's one, obviously there was this one little bit that I just couldn't leave, I couldn't leave behind. So we'll just nip that out very gently into the corner. There we go. That's gone. Lovely. Patient's eardrum looking very healthy there. Good light reflex. So this is what we removed, guys. So we have 6 centimeters. Which is 2.5 inches. That was what yesterday's was as well. We've got the Jobson horn on there. We've got the standard size ulnar tube as well, so you can see what those look like. But guys, thank you very much for watching day 10 of Waxfint. I hope you enjoyed that video. It was a bit of a long slog, that one. We're back again for tomorrow, which is day 11. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, take care of your ears, and take care of one another. And we shall see you again real soon. Bye, everyone.